Hi guys, my name is Carly Hughes. I want to thank Showtime and the Shy for asking me to be a part of this community dinner. I think it's awesome. Cooking for me is joy. It brings me so much joy. And if you come to my house, that is what I think you're gonna get, is joy and love and community, and food is kind of the glue for all of that, you know? We have some amazing recipes for you today, and I'm gonna start you with the appetizer. So we're gonna do little cornbread and chicken bites. So you want your cornbread mix. You can use your favorite cornbread mix. You can go and get a box of Jiffy, because that's what we all grew up on. I today am using the Trader Joe's cornbread mix because I always add corn to my cornbread, and the Trader Joe's mix comes with corn in it. So you wanna get that going, prepare it how you wanna prepare it or how the box says to prepare it. And that is normally with like egg, vegetable oil, milk. Mine is already started here. I chopped up one whole jalapeno. I made it really, really small. Can you see that? Now we're gonna add that to the mixture. Whoop. I also am going to add some cheese. You can use cheddar, you can use Gruyere, you can use white cheddar, you can use Colby Jack. This is a Colby Jack mixture because this cheese, the creaminess of it is going to help smooth out the spiciness of the jalapenos. You wanna make sure you also take the seeds out of your jalapenos because we want spicy flavor. We don't want spicy fire. So we're gonna give this a stir, mix it all up so that the corn, if your cornbread mixture doesn't have corn, add about 3/4 of a cup or 3/4 of the can of corn, all right? Give it a good mix. You don't wanna over mix it, but this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna be able to see the corn pieces, you're gonna be able to see the jalapeno pieces and the cheese. Boop. Next, you want a mini muffin tin. I have one here. You see how they're really tiny? They're smaller than your average muffins. So we're going to take this tin, we're gonna spray it because you don't want it to stick. Spray, you can use olive oil, you can use coconut oil, avocado oil, whatever spray you have on hand, use that. So then we're gonna spoon this into, can y'all see that? Yeah. We're gonna spoon this into each little mini muffin tin, okay? Give it a little bit, and you're gonna take these, everybody's oven is different, so you're gonna wanna set your oven, try it this way. Set it at 350, and you're gonna wanna cook these mini muffins for about 15 minutes, but then you wanna do the toothpick test, where you take a toothpick and you dip it in the middle, and if it comes out clean, it's done. If it comes out doughy or with dough on it, you've gotta leave it in a little longer. Okay, so let's say we did that. You're gonna take this, you're gonna put it in your oven for 15 minutes. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on our chicken. Now, don't get nervous, but I'm gonna give you some secrets with this here chicken. So what you wanna do first is have your chicken tenders or chicken breast, you chop it up, you're gonna put it in a Ziploc bag, and you are going to fill this bag with about a cup of dill pickle juice. I said it, I didn't stutter. I meant what I said. It's gonna look like this. You wanna put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes at the minimum, about 2 hours at the max. You seal it, you put it in the fridge, you give it a little squeeze, and zhuzh it. I've already done that. So now, what we're gonna do is bread our chicken. You're gonna have wet ingredients, you're gonna have dry ingredients, and you're gonna have a wet hand and a dry hand, right? So you take your chicken, you're gonna take it out of the plastic bag, right? Take each piece out, here we go. And kind of give it a little shake so the juice comes off, put it on a side plate. Give it a little shake, 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 put it on a side plate. This is what we're gonna do. We're also gonna get our air fryer basket ready. We're gonna do these in the air fryer. Whoop, put this right here. Assembly line. Now what you want to do with your wet hand, you're gonna take this here chicken, give it a little shake, shake, put it into the dry mixture. This dry mixture, it's a cup of flour, it's 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. It is about a half a teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, salt and pepper, okay? And the secret in this one is the confectioner's sugar, the powdered sugar. So if you don't have that, you can go down the street and get it because it's only like 69 cents for the box. So you put it into the wet mixture and you're gonna put it back into the dry mixture. What you wanna also do is take your spray that you sprayed the tin with, you're gonna spray the inside of your air fryer basket, okay? You take this, you put it in there. You want this to be in a single layer, so you're gonna do it again. If y'all can see this, this is the beginning of my tin. Do you see how they are in a single layer? They are not touching. So you're gonna put that into your air fryer at 370 for 8 minutes. At 4 minutes, which is the halfway mark, you're gonna go in, flip them over, and spritz them with olive oil, because that is gonna be how they get brown and yummy and crispy, okay? So we've done our chicken. We've done our cornbread, right? Moving all this over so I can show you guys the pièce de résistance. Okay, so this is what your cornbread looks like when it comes out. Look at these little cute little muffins. Ooh. This is what your chicken looks like when it comes out. Ooh. Forget about it, y'all. You ain't ready. Now, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna have toothpicks, right? You have all the toothpicks for the same amount of cornbreads that you have. And you're gonna make truffle butter. This is made truffle honey butter. You leave a stick of butter out, which I did, for half an hour to like 2 hours. You just put it on the counter and leave it at room temperature. It's gonna get like creamy and yummy. I put it in a bowl, I stirred it. Then, to make truffle honey butter, you kind of gotta have truffle honey. So you're gonna take your butter. I already added my honey to this. Take your butter, you're gonna add about, I wanna say a tablespoon, but maybe that's greedy, I don't know. Half a tablespoon, start with it, taste it. Oh. So now you're gonna take this. This is how we're gonna prepare these. You take your little cornbread muffin. You take yourself a few dollop of this truffle honey butter. Put it on right there, spread it on the top, right? You're gonna take yourself your favorite piece of chicken, any piece of chicken, on top. You're gonna take your toothpick. You wanna do this on the plate, y'all. Take your toothpick, stick it on through. Boo. Look at that. Now you're gonna do these to the rest of them. Here we go. Now, can y'all see this? Now, if you wanted to, you could even put a little bit of butter on top of that there chicken, but you know, ain't nobody telling you what to do. I want to thank, this is so good. I want to thank the Shy and Showtime again for having me. I'm going to pass you on over to Kelis. She is making your dinner tonight. She's amazing. Make these.
What's up? I'm Kelis, and I just wanted to thank Showtime and the Shy for inspiring this community meal. I think it's important because food is important. I always tell people, like, show me what you eat and I can tell you who you are. When I think about all of the most important moments in our lives, you think about like weddings, funerals, birth of a baby, a graduation. It's always around food and music. I think food really brings us together. And I also think it really shows us who we are. And it's comforting, it's loving. I cook with love. When I cook, you know that I love you, I hope. And that's always my goal because it comes from the heart and I'm working with my hands and it's something that it's like it's ancestral, it's passed down. So I think food is life. So thank you, Shy. One of my favorite shows. I love it. And thank you, Showtime. Peace. Brown my onions in there too, so they get a nice caramelly flavor. We've got some sweet peppers, carrots. We'll add all of our herbs like rosemary, thyme, garlic, and eventually our caramelized onions will go in here too. Add some rosemary, oregano, some thyme, garlic cloves, a few more on there. And now you're going to add liquid. You're going to cover it to about there, and we'll seal it. Paprika, just a little paprika. Paprika has a nice flavor, and it also is good for color. So we're gonna make a red rice and smoked sausage, and this is kind of like a gullah style. Gonna add the smoked sausage now. Along with the most expert rice growers, originated in Africa. We're gonna add our rice here. Get it all mixed in so it gets all that goodness on there. And you add stock or water, just enough to cover it. So this is good. You see that consistency? If you want it to come to a little sizzle, nice simmer like that, nice boil, and then cover it. And then turn it all the way down. Good to go. Add a little butter, a little flour. I prefer flour to cornstarch. And we're gonna make our gravy. Yeah, baby. That's gravy.
Kelis, girl, that meal looked so delicious. Thank you so much for passing over to me. And now I'm gonna round this out with one of my favorite desserts, some classic Southern banana pudding. It's a family favorite of mine, and I can't wait to share it with all of y'all. Honestly, really good banana pudding isn't that difficult to make. It only takes a few ingredients that you should have at home. Some eggs, we have some whole milk, sugar, flour, some spices, some wafers, and then of course bananas. So if you're used to that box stuff, honestly, this takes the same amount of time and it's much better than what you're used to getting at that box. So to start your banana pudding, you need 3 really good egg yolks. So first you want to start with all of your wet ingredients. I'm going to pour this whole milk in here with our 3 separated egg yolks. Now you're going to whisk that up really good. And from there, we're going to carefully put in this flour. Now this part's important because you don't want any clumps, okay? So nobody want no clumpy pudding. Sugar. Now, it doesn't look like much right now, you know, and you're probably wondering, girl, you don't know what you're doing. But once I turn the heat on this, and we start to give it a steady stir, it'll start to get thick. And instead, you just keep putting. Now, we're gonna let this go for 15 minutes, and you're not gonna stop stirring until it's done. And look at that, thick. I like to call it the thickening with 2 C's, to be honest. Nice and creamy and smooth. So I like to set my banana pudding apart a little bit from others. And I like to add some fresh nutmeg as well as some cinnamon. And then of course, some salt to taste. The key to really good desserts, in my humble professional opinion, is salt. You want to cut through some of that sweetness and you get that nice saltiness that hits your tongue at the end, and it just elevates everything. Now while the banana pudding is cooling down, I'm gonna go ahead and start peeling the bananas. Banana pudding, duh. Now,
I prefer my bananas to be pretty ripe, like not on the verge of death or just completely mushiness. Like you want that little bit of firmness, because once it gets in there with that warm pudding and starts to layer in the refrigerator, then it's going to start to get mushy. So it needs to have a little bit of strength so that it can withstand that really super hot pudding. So I prefer to layer my pudding with pudding on the bottom, bananas, and then wafers. So this is gonna be our last round. You wanna scoop up all the rest of that pudding and try to distribute the rest of it as evenly as possible, covering all your bases, all your bananas like that. And then you finish with a lovely crown. Bam! And this is the final product. I suggest that you go ahead and put it in the fridge overnight, or you can let it rest up to about 4 hours. Honestly, it depends on how hungry you are and how soon you need that banana pudding. But thank you so very much. I'm really excited to share all of this with you. My name is Kia. I go by Kia Cooks. Thank you so much to Showtime to allow me to welcome people into my home and share a meal together. It means a lot to me.